Hi again, everybody. I'm Wild Bill from Comic Book Geezers.
And I'm Pete. Welcome back to another episode.
And this is the Avengers X-Men episode, another superhero team-up episode. And we're going to kick it off with the Avengers. And Pete has a little bit of the history for us.
Yeah, so for our first episode of 2018, we figured let's do a kind of like a team sort of thing. And we picked two teams that are very, very popular in the history of Marvel, but they also launched exactly at the same time.
So and they made a lot of movies in Hollywood so far.
A lot of movies. So everybody knows Avengers and X-Men, right? So first launched in 1963 by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. And basically the characters in the first initial couple of issues of the Avengers were Ant-Man, all right, who later became Giant Man in issue number 2, the Hulk, Iron Man, and the Wasp. So initially they fought Loki, who is Thor's brother, right? The Hulk didn't stick around for this team for too long, right?
But Thor wasn't an original Avenger at the time, was he?
He actually was, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We forget him? Okay. We got him now.
Yeah. No, actually, you're right. In the very first issue, he was not. No, you are correct, sir.
He's not? Okay.
No. But he joined, I believe, by issue number 3. Also, because the Hulk left. And then in comes Captain America, right? So they resuscitated him from the frozen depths for issue number 4. And, over the course of all the years, your Hawkeye, Hercules, all sorts of different characters would come in and out. Vision would come in and out.
Yeah, Hulk being an Avenger in the original, I never would have guessed that. Like, if I was on a game show, I got that wrong, because I always knew him as being a Defender when I was a teenager. He wasn't in the Avengers then, so I never knew that he was.
He didn't stay for long, but he is an original
Avenger.
So Bill and I don't have a ton of Avengers books, but I've got a nice little selection.
I only had 2 for the longest time. Now I have 4.
My earliest Avengers comic is number 60. Okay. And this is kind of like the wedding issue, right?
Yeah. So who's getting married here?
Yeah, Yellow Jacket and the Wasp, right?
All right.
Of course, you got the Circus of Fear, who's spoiling.
These guys get around these villains.
They're everywhere. The Circus of Fear. You see Black Panther in that issue as well, and he shows up here as well for number 61. You also see Doctor Strange on here. This is actually a continuation of a story that also took place in the Doctor Strange comic, which we'll cover in another episode. With that, we're going to kick it over to Bill for the next one.
This was the oldest comic in my collection for the longest time. This is from 1969. This is issue number 70. And it features the Squadron Sinister as the villains. And this is the first appearance of the Squadron Sinister. And in classic Avenger cover fashion, they do this kind of left and right clash of
you're going to see that a lot in the next couple minutes.
It's a standard format for a lot of Avenger covers, as well as other stuff from the 60s. But that's the oldest in my collection.
From there, we're going to jump over to issue 80. Look who's up there in the upper left-hand corner. Red Wolf. Okay, well, a Western character. Yeah, exactly.
Go this way. There you go. Right like that. Just tilt it back a little.
There you go.
You got the angle now?
Yep.
All right, there you are.
And part 2 of that particular...
Technical difficulties with glare.
Yeah.
Flip this way.
There we go.
Just like that.
So now you'll see here, right? The romance between the Scarlet Witch and the Vision. Okay, of course, they would eventually get married. That was, issue 81. So we're going to jump up to 82. You'll see a familiar face down there. Mr. Hulk. Right, so here you've got
this
Thor.
Guy's popular. This villain over here, Bug-Eye, Cyclops.
Yep.
Forgot his name.
Cyclops, right?
I'm not sure.
Cyclops, the summons of Cyclops.
I was close.
So we got Giant Man, we've got Iron Man, we've got Cap, we've got
Thor,
right? So I guess the Falcon. You can barely see him, but he's there. He's
in his green uniform.
His green uniform.
The red and
very,
white.
Very early, yeah. So that was issue 80. 88, so now 89. You'll see another familiar face here. Ta-da!
Captain Marvel. He looks kind of big.
He does.
A very big close-up. And he's strapped down to like an electric chair kind of thing.
So here we're going to jump ahead about 20 issues. So by this point in time, we had a different
Books
lineup.
went up in price. They were 20 cents.
So we're at 20 cents.
Probably 1973.
So you'll see
72.
here we got Hawkeye, we got Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, Iron Man, Captain America, Vision up in the corner. So here... Clint Barton, known as Hawkman, he's a little pissed off about things. He decides to quit, right? Didn't last for long. And then we go to issue 116. I love this cover, and we love this character that you see guest starring here.
The Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer fighting the Vision with Wanda the Scarlet Witch. No, don't fight. What is actually she saying here? Vision, no, don't fall. The volcano.
He's a robot. That wouldn't be good for his circuits.
No.
Lava.
Another great cover. This is number 117.
Again, look at the great use of yellow.
Yeah. And yellow and Captain America always seem to go hand in hand. The yellow with the blue.
Because it makes the blue suit stand out. If that background was black or gray, the colors pop. It's a great cover.
So here you see they're fighting the Submariner, and then you gotta love when they do shit like that.
Nice.
Mystery villain. So who do you think that is? I haven't read this in so long, I don't remember who it was. So anyway, great cover.
I'm going to guess and say Sunfire. I could be wrong.
I think you are correct.
I don't know, because that kind of looks like an Iron Man. I know from my Iron Man days.
Yeah, I think you are correct. I think so.
Yeah. Let me show you. Just like that.
See
I'm holding it?
Yep.
That's what you keep going like this. Go like this. They'll like it better. Right, gang? Yeah. Okay. Next.
Sorry.
That's all right.
All right, next. I love this cover. 122. See, I got it right there.
There you go.
Look at that. They're bursting out of the pages. Black Panther, Iron Man, Thor, Vision, Scarlet Witch.
Definitely cool. Avengers always had great covers.
Yeah. Here's another one. So you see a lot of more familiar faces on here.
The Thing.
Black Bolt from the Inhumans. Human Torch. Right? This was issue, 127. I'm up to 130 now. We both have this issue. We both love this cover. Look at this.
This is Pete's copy.
Titanium Man, Radioactive Man, Crimson Dynamo.
The Slasher. This guy, his suit's the Slasher. He actually teams up with these guys.
Yep.
And he's stole a bunch of diamonds in this issue. And they're over in Vietnam. And this book was written during the Vietnam War. So there was this ceasefire so the Avengers can't get involved in anything. But these guys over here, these villains, it's their territory. And this villain, the Slasher, lies to these guys and gets them to clash with the Avengers. So the Avengers start fighting with these guys. And at the end of the comic, the Avengers point out the fact that this guy's a diamond thief. And then these villains turn their back on the Slasher and leave him to the Avengers to deal with him. So really good, interesting issue.
And you'll notice the left-to-right battle scene like we talked about a couple
with the cover, yeah.
All right, from there we're going to jump over to 130.
We got 131.
131. I'm sorry, 131 and 132. A two-parter here.
One of my favorites, Frankenstein.
You got the original Power Man down there as well. Okay. Very cool. And then the continuation of that story.
Part 2.
More Frankie on the
Frankenstein
cover.
versus Thor.
Gotta love that, huh?
I don't think Frankenstein stands a chance against the God of Thunder.
Not really, but, cool nonetheless. So
from there, we're going to
jump ahead a couple issues to 134.
This is 134. This was the second and only Avengers in my collection for the longest time. And this one is a great cover with the origin of the Vision. So this is a good one. If gives his origin, which is not a common thing. So this makes this, in my opinion, a key issue.
Yep.
And then moving up to 142. Now this is Avengers versus Western Wild Bunch. They're actually looking for Hawkeye, who was sent back in time. They were all scattered out through time, but Hawkeye managed to make it back into the 1800s.
So we got the Two-Gun Kid?
Knight Rider.
Okay.
And Two-Gun Kid.
What's that other guy's name?
I forget.
Probably says it there, too. No, I guess not. Oh, and Moondragon on the bottom.
Yeah, Moondragon's in here.
So
she's an Avenger.
Yeah.
This was not a bad read. Not bad. So this is the fourth of my Avengers collection.
They did that from time to time. They have like these Western characters coming in.
And it took place in the 1800s because they went back in time to get Hawkeye to bring him back to rejoin the Avengers.
Shooting up to 158. I love this cover. It's a Kirby cover. All right. So you got Wonder Man fighting the Vision. The rest of them looking on in horror. I always liked Wonder Man. I thought he was kind of a cool character. And then my last original Avengers issue is 190. So we're skipping ahead a bit. This is 40 center, so this is what, 79.
79.
So there you see the Beast is in the ranks, right? Otherwise, a lot of the same guys, but Beast is there. On loan from the X-Men, right?
You got Vision on there.
Yep. And then I have a, and again, this is 1976. We're going back a couple years. So King Size Annual number 6. I like this one.
That's a nice cover.
That's a Kirby cover.
That is definitely cool.
Yeah, it's a nice Kirby cover on there. You'll see Wonder Man. Who else on there? Black Panther, Iron Man.
Captain America right in dead center.
Yellow Jacket, the Wasp.
Vision in there. And Iron Man in the grips of the evil monster.
That's right. So in the early 70s, right, late 60s, early 70s, as you know, Marvel did a lot of these reprint series.
Of everybody.
Of everybody, right?
Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Captain America.
All of them.
And, of course, the Avengers.
And, of course, the Avengers. So originally, the Avengers reprint series was called Marvel Triple Action.
And they did the Fantastic Four reprints also.
Exactly. And I have a ton of these. Again, because when I was a kid, growing up in the early, mid-70s, you know,
these are the books from the 60s.
Yeah, I just bought them, right? Because you couldn't really get the old issues. So I bought a ton of these. So needless to say, I am still going to go and probably replace these with originals at some point. But it's kind of nice to have them right now anyway.
A task.
Yeah, it is a task, absolutely. Because this is what stuff for them.
And now that the movies came out, the value and the price on the books kind of jumped through the roof.
And the cool Kirby cover right there. And again, these are great issues. And here I got a few from when Hercules was kind of hanging out in the Avengers. And you see Quicksilver down there and the Scarlet Witch, you know. Another one with Herc coming up next.
Oh, this is a nice one.
Yeah, that's a
Hercules throwing a rock.
And this one's really good because here we see Hercules fighting the Submariner.
Oh, nice.
Those guys always had great fights together, those two guys. Let's see.
What else you got here? All right.
So, you know, we got the Red Guardian. So you see Hercules was kind of like an informal member of the
Avengers
for quite a while. A nice run. You know, this is probably in, I'm not sure exactly where this sat in the original Avengers issue numbers, but I'm going to say like in the 40s or 50s, I'm thinking. Something like that. Maybe the 60s.
Now, who's this guy? The blue and yellow guy down here. That dude.
God, wasn't he a variation of Giant Man?
Is he? I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know.
I forget. It's got to be.
Forgive my Avengers ignorance, but you know, when I was a kid, I didn't have an allowance. You know, I basically got Iron Man, Spider-Man, and the Hulk, Batman, Flash, and Superman.
Black Knight, one of my favorite characters. Always like, yeah, I'm thinking he is a different costume for Giant Man.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check that.
All right.
Yeah, we should know this stuff, but you know, sometimes
a lot of characters. Anything. I just read them and like them for the covers, man. You know, each comic book to me is an individual work of art.
It certainly is.
You know. And I can't draw, so maybe that's why I appreciate them so much.
Look at that great cover. All right, Avengers versus the X-Men.
Again, the clash.
Yeah, very popular.
The side, left and right.
The Masters of Evil. All right,
all right.
There they are
that
again.
Sounds enticing.
Yes.
Look at that.
Black Knight.
Very nice.
Great cover. And then here another one of those. I got two in a row here coming up with these kick-ass battle covers. Look at that. So this is
cool.
The Mayhem over Manhattan, right? And here we got the new Avengers versus the old Avengers, side by side, left to right battle. So on the bottom, you got Hulk and Black Panther. Then you got Thor and Cap. You got Iron Man and Hawkeye. And then looks like two giant men. So
definitely cool covers.
Pretty cool. So from there, we're going to switch over to X-Men, right?
X-Men also got started in 1963 by
same month.
Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And the original X-Men was obviously Dr. Charles Xavier. We had Angel, Beast, Cyclops, and we also had Iceman and Marvel Girl, which is Jean Grey.
Right.
But I don't have the original, but this is a reprint that came out in 1979. This is Volume 3 of Amazing Adventures. This is what the first issue of X-Men #1 looks like.
Yep.
And as you can see, these are the old original costumes. And I picked this up right off the newsstand when I was a teenager.
Awful looking Iceman.
Yeah.
It looks like a snowman.
And the X-Men all had this same color blue and yellow suits.
Yep.
And I don't have a lot of X-Men. I really wasn't a big X-Men fan. But this is the oldest in my collection. This is number 91, I believe. Yes. This is and of course, that's Magneto on the cover.
Their main villain.
Forever. And again, you'll notice they still have the old costumes. But they went through a switch.
I have the reprint of that.
They did a switch in issue. It was a 4-part story. Issued 94 through 97. I don't have 94 or 95, but I do have 96. And this is the new costumes. And obviously, you see Wolverine down here.
Nightcrawler.
You got Cyclops in the center here.
Nightcrawler on top.
Nightcrawler. Who's this guy?
Is that Cyclops?
Yes, Cyclops. Dr. Xavier and Storm. So this is a great cover. And again, the good use of yellow. The monster is definitely, it stands out. A great cover. Issue 96. And then issue 97 I like as well. And these were the only two X-Men in my collection, 96 and 97, for a long time.
That Havoc?
Yeah.
Good.
Havoc versus Cyclops.
Yeah.
Again, Great cover. Not sure what this is worth, but these two are definitely up there.
And there's Storm up top, too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great cover. Then I have, a little bit later, this is issue 129. This is a 40 center. This is probably from 1979. This is John Byrne, or Bryan?
John Byrne, yeah.
John Byrne was the writer at this point in time.
What's the Titanium guy's name again?
Cyclops.
No, Cyclops is Scott.
Yeah,
well,
Cyclops.
No, Cyclops.
Oh, Colossus.
Colossus.
I knew it started with a C. See, I told you I'm not a big X-Men fan. That just proves
Good
it.
character, though. Good
Yes,
character.
Colossus.
Yeah.
And then this is the issue just before the death of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
This is the one issue before. So this is kind of a grail. Though obviously, the next issue is more of a holy grail. This is issue 136. And then I have issue 154. We have Storm on the cover with Cyclops. And I don't know who this guy is down here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Is that Gambit, maybe?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Gambit.
He probably didn't come around. I don't know if he was around back then. Yeah.
This is a monumental issue. This is X-Men issue 200.
Look at that.
And I just recently bought this within the past year. Again, it's been almost 2 years now since I've been buying comics again. Then I had bought these in the late 80s. This is X-Men 250. And I bought it because it's issue 250, kind of a a milestone. But one of my favorite X-Men covers from the late 80s is this one. And I think I've shown this off before as a favorite cover. This is issue 251. And the X-Men were so popular at this time, they were coming out twice a month. So they were banging out an issue every 2 weeks. And that's it for my X-Men. But keeping an X-Men tradition, here's a holy grail. In 1982, they did a 4-part story of Wolverine. They gave him his own comic. And it launched a 4-part series. Later on in the 80s, there was a Wolverine title that came out, but this is the original 4-part story. This came out in 1982. If I had known how valuable this would be, I would have bought like 10 copies of each. But this is issue 1. This is issue number 2. That's a great action cover of him leaping. I believe Frank Miller was the artist in these as well. And that makes him even more special. Frank Miller, a well-known name in comic book world. And issue number 4, which I like as well. That's kind of a cool cover. And I like the use of the green in this. That's definitely cool with the yellow Wolverine. It stands out. And then I have this one, which is also from maybe like 87. This is Marvel Comics Presents. And I believe this is volume 2. But Wolverine versus Venom, so because of Wolverine, and he's got the old costume.
Yep.
So I jumped on it, even though I'm not a big X-Men
popular
fan.
character at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So
that wraps up our edition of Comic Book Geezers for the Avengers and the X-Men. I'm Wild Bill saying thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our Captain Marvel episode.
Yeah, and I'm Pete, so you don't want to miss that one. We're going to cover the original series as well as the later
Switch.
Version. So very, very cool
You'll
stuff.
see a change in costumes.
That's right.
All right, so thanks for watching. I'm saying Wild Bill saying take care.
Have a good one. Take care. Bye.
Bye.